Okay. And share my screen. Okay, hopefully you can all see my screen. Great. Okay, so hello and welcome to the second day. And for those of you who I haven't yet had the pleasure to meet, my name is Rachel Street. I am the program lead for this initiative, and for which we have to offer thanks to the Heising Simons Foundation for their support. A particular welcome if you were not able, if you are not a Science Collaboration member and maybe haven't joined one of our meetings before. If you are unfamiliar with Rubin or the science collaborations in general, you'll find there's some introductory information that I've posted on the meeting website, and you'll find links to where you can get more information about all of them, the kind of work that they're doing. And we have several of the chairs of these groups who are at this meeting. They'd be very happy to answer your questions, myself included. Before we continue with today's session, I want to remind everybody about the workshop's code of conduct. Rubin Observatory and their science collaborations place a strong emphasis on maintaining an environment where everybody can thrive and do great science. And all attendees of our workshops are expected to adhere to the code of conduct. You can find full details of that on the website, and you'll find that it highlights the importance of respectful interactions at all times, so as to build trust and allow everybody to contribute fully. If any concerns do come up, please reach out to me anytime. So a quick summary of where to find information. The meeting website is a one-stop shop for everything. Everything is linked from there. So if you're lost at any point, start there. We also have a Slack channel on the LSST Slack team, which I think everybody is a member of, but if not, Federica can help you with that. So please contact her. And please use the Slack channel to ask and pose questions in text, because it is persistent after the meeting, so more people will be able to answer. So new for today, a number of people have asked whether the materials from the workshop will be available after the event. So what I've done is add a new content tab to the workshop website, where you're going to be able to find the presentation slides, as well as recordings of the plenary sessions, and I will be adding more content as we go through the workshop. So the agenda for today is less structured than yesterday, with more of an emphasis on breakout sessions, which are going to be self-organized by groups that are interested in working on proposals. That said, I'm conscious that not everybody will have been able to attend yesterday, so I'd like to start by giving everyone who could not attend yesterday a chance to introduce themselves.
I can hear a lot of feedback, I think.
Ah, okay. I'm not getting that.
Rachel, is this your Zoom? Can you mute? Can you mute all participants? I think some of them were not muted. I don't think
okay.
I think it's taking
You're
care
still
of.
in the gather town, so you can hear me trying to shepherd people into the Zoom. That's what you're hearing.
We can hear you in the Zoom though.
No, you can hear me in the gather town.
I see your Zoom microphone going up and down.
Yeah.
So they're linked.
There's an interesting reaction there, yes.
Fed, I think your audio is unmuted in Gather Town, and so you're getting feedback, but I'm not hearing any feedback.
Okay, sorry. I assumed it was on Zoom because it actually appears with the microphone on Zoom. Okay, thank you.
Okay, so hopefully everybody can hear us now. There's some weird interaction that I haven't quite figured out between Zoom and GatherTown when you go from one to the other, but we will get it ironed out. So I will start by quickly recapping the essential points of what we covered yesterday, and then we will go to the breakout sessions. So we've had a number of great ideas posted already. This is an incomplete copy of the spreadsheet. So I am going to come out of this and post a link to that spreadsheet At least I would be, but not from there. Stop that. Share, copy, right. Okay, so here is the link to the spreadsheet. So if you have an idea for a breakout session, please post it there. That would be great. And if you want to nominate a meeting space location in GatherTown where people can join you later, please add it to the spreadsheet so that everybody has access to it. So participant form. So in the interests of helping newcomers, especially to network with everybody, we're compiling a directory of participants of this workshop, which will only be shared by with the people who attend the workshop. And so I invite everybody to contribute to the Google form that I have just posted in the chat screen. So if you haven't put your details in there already, please fill out that form so that we have a list of everybody who is contributing to the workshop and what their interests are, so that people can get in touch if they have overlapping science interests and can coordinate on a joint proposal. So I'll give everybody a few minutes to fill in that form if you haven't already, and then we'll invite anyone who would like to introduce themselves. Okay, so I see we have a few new people. So I'll invite each person in turn to introduce themselves. This is optional, so if you prefer just to be remain silent, feel free to message me and say that. So I think the first person is Michael Rich.
Yes, hi. I'm interested in crowded fields, primarily crowded fields and stellar populations, and I see that Marcus has already put together a group. I'm actually flying out internationally today, so I can stay on for about an hour or so. I work at UCLA, and I've worked extensively in stellar populations. I'm a member of 3 collaborations, transients, and primarily stars, Milky Way, and local volume, but I'm also part of galaxies and transients. Actually, I'm not sure if I'm officially part of transients. I'm definitely part of galaxies. Okay.
Sounds like you have a lot of broad interest, and this is a great meeting to overlap and find some new collaborators. Thanks, Michael. Tomislav Zurek.
Hello.
Hello.
I don't know if you see me. Okay,
no, we don't.
It's a little bit dark here. Just a second.
Oh yeah, there you go. Okay.
Okay, I had to remove the sticker. Okay, I'm coming from University of Rijeka from Croatia. I'm a member of TVS, mainly working in the variable stars and AGBs and RGB stars, and also some modeling of the circumstellar dust and this kind of stuff. Currently, I am contribution lead in our in-kind proposal. So I'm in charge of our computing facility. So at the moment, I would really like to join Knut's proposed breaking session to see how to connect scientific community with the possibility to use the facilities.
Great. Okay, that would be an excellent breakout session later on then. Thank you.
Which institution are you in Croatia?
University of Rijeka.
Sorry, University of
Rijeka, yes.
Rijeka.
Yes.
Okay, Loredana Prinzano. Apologies.
I'm Loredana Presinzano. I come from Italy, Italian National Institute of Astrophysics. I am a member of Milky Way and Local Volume Science Collaboration, and marginally also for transient and variable stars. I worked marginally for Rubin, but what I have done is just to collaborate for observing strategy. I submitted a white paper and a cadence note just to convince the community that it is important to observe also the galactic plane, since I'm interested to study star-forming regions that are mainly found in the galactic plane. So the topic, preferred topic is star formation.
Thanks, Loredana. I know a lot of people are also interested in the galactic plane, so I'm sure there's a lot of overlap there. Next one.
Hi, I'm Meg Schwam. I'm a lecturer at Queen's University Belfast. I'm the co-chair of the Solar System Science Collaboration. So usually it's my fault in the Solar System Science Collaboration for stuff that happens. Yeah, generally interested in solar system things, but also sort of broader applications of those techniques or data sets for other problems. So that's what I'm hoping to get out of, or maybe get out of this proposal call. So thanks.
Thanks, Meg. I know everybody in Solar System appreciates everything you do for the group. Mariano Moraes.
Hi, everyone. I'm Mariano.
Okay, was it Mariano or Mariam?
Oh, Mariam.
Rachel.
It was Mariam, and apologies if I'm mispronouncing this.
Oh, no. I think no, it's very similar names.
Mariam.
Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm Mariam Moraes. I'm faculty at New York University in New York. And it's great to see some familiar names and faces. I work on supernova, exploding stars, and various other transients, explosive transients, weirdos. And so those are the areas I'm interested in, as well as Tyler Pritchard, who can't be here today. He's a postdoc in my group. Some of you know him. We're all both interested in exploding stars of various kinds. I've also been thinking, so now I'm in my position in physics at NYU. I'm also now the inaugural director for inclusion, equity, and diversity. And so we've been thinking also, and of course, your collaboration too, various ways to involve undergraduate students. So that's something that I also would like to explore. And I see Nino, you put some interest like that in there, and of course, your position. So I'm really excited to talk to people about both science and other interests. Thanks.
Excellent, excellent. And Mariano, perhaps you would like to go as well. I don't think I see you on the directory responses, but please go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Rachel. I'm from Cordoba, Argentina. I work mostly on astrostatistics and machine learning applications in several fields of astronomy. I'm very interested particularly in the local volume, as a proof of different type of dark matter. And I'm planning to join the informatics and statistics collaboration in the near future. We are moving on with our in-kind contribution on that. And also I have a deep connection with the problems on time domain. I worked a lot on this stuff, difference image, Also, I'm interested on the problem of the satellite constellation for astronomy observation, which is real problem that we should address, I think. And that's it. Thanks.
That's a very important topic, which I don't think we've covered in enough detail. So thank you for raising that. And we have one more person who has completed the directory form, Athena Mele.
Yes, hello. My name is Athena Mele. I'm coming from University of Liège, Belgium, but very soon I will join North Carolina A&T State University. My main research interest focus on astrophysical jets, relativistic jets, actually of AGN, magnetic fields, but also I'm a scholar of variable stars. I was a couple of days ago I was accepted to the transients and variable stars collaborations, and I'm very happy about it. And my main focus will be to engage international students from from United States or Belgium or other countries on an observational program, research of astronomy program, also on theory. And we like to take advantage of the available data, and and also focus on and give a special weight on justice, diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts. So thank you.
Excellent. That sounds like it's a fantastic fit for the program. Thank you. And we have one more person, Cyril Option. And my apologies if I'm mispronouncing your name.
No worries. So hi, I'm Cyril Option. I'm at the University of Edinburgh, and I'm a member of the Solar System Science Collaboration, interested in, well, most of the solar system object, but in particular every active objects. So I'm also very interested in the subject of inclusion in astronomy, and so that's part of the objectives of this program. That's part of what I'm here and why I'm here, and I'm also very interested in collaborations between the different LSST collaborations, so yeah, happy to be here.
Excellent, and welcome, because it sounds like this is the perfect workshop for you. Okay, well, thank you to everybody who contributed to the participants directory. In the interests of helping everybody to network and form teams, I'd like to share with everybody here, and I will just get the right chat option, the directory itself. So that's the information on everybody. If you want to get in touch, if you share overlapping interests, then feel free to form collaborations and use GatherTown as a great platform to start brainstorming. So the next thing I wanted to do is do a short recap of the essentials of the material that we covered yesterday. If I can just share my screen again. This is not going to be quite as extensive as the presentation yesterday, which you can find on the meeting website. So I encourage you to check that out if you were unable to join the session yesterday and would like more information. But I hope I have captured the actual real essentials here. So first of all, the program is designed to support work by members of 3 of the Rubin Science collaborations. That's Transients and Variable Stars, Stars, Milky Way and Local Volume, and the Solar System Science collaborations. And we often refer to those by their acronyms. So if you are new to the science collaborations and we forget and speak in coded language, that's what they stand for. And correct us if we forget, apologies. And I would like to thank the co-chairs of all of these science collaborations for all of the work that they've done in helping me put this program together. The program places equal weight on 2 of its twin objectives, which are to enable research in preparation for the LSST survey, to support the research community and enhance that community by enabling a greater diversity of people to contribute to it. The whole program is designed to last just 1 year, and there are 4 elements to it. It provides funds to cover the costs associated with publishing research and with hosting meetings and workshops. And that's going to include future opportunities to access a range of training relevant to doing science with the kind of advanced software tools and development that will be necessary to handle Rubin data products. So I'll be circulating more information about those opportunities in future. But the major element of the program is the Kickstarter Grants program. So there are two categories of proposal in the Kickstarter Grants program. The first type is individual or team proposals, and we're expecting to allocate about 30 of those grants, each of which can be up to $20,000 in US dollars. The second category is partnership proposals, which can be between 2 or more groups or institutions. And these proposals have a higher cap at 30,000 US dollars, and I'll say more about those shortly. In both cases, the duration of the grant will have to be no more than 10 months due to the limited time frame of the whole program. And please be aware that there is a cap on the indirect costs or the institutional overheads that can be included. And that is a rule that from the foundation, which I'm afraid we cannot waive. All members of the 3 participating science collaborations are eligible to be a grant PI. And we welcome collaborations either from other science collaborations or of non-members, but we do encourage you to get involved with the science collaborations. We feel it's a very beneficial organization. And we want these grants to enable a wide range of science for all our members, so they will be allocated by a peer review process. Now, the program is designed to be unusually flexible in the kinds of proposal that we can support, and we envision quite a range of proposals from our members. Since that is quite different from more traditional opportunities, we spent some time yesterday describing some examples, which you can find on the program website, and Federica led a discussion of those ideas yesterday, so you can review that discussion in this session recording from yesterday, which is available on the website. We stressed the significance of particular sections of the proposal, which are dedicated to the personal statement and the statement of impacts. The proposal evaluation will take into consideration the broader impacts of the proposal on the wider community. So we encourage you to highlight the contributions that you have made or plan to make to the science collaborations as a community. And we consider you to consider all of the contributions that you've made to the science collaborations are very valuable in and of themselves. They benefit everybody else in the community. So this gives us a way to recognize those contributions. The evaluation will also take into account equitable distribution of resources, bearing in mind the tremendous impact that a Kickstarter grant can have, particularly at a smaller institution. So we encourage you to explain in your proposal how this grant can help you and others overcome barriers to involvement in Rubin research. Of course, there are communities which face deep and systemic barriers to participation in science and society in general, and those extend way beyond Rubin alone. Overcoming those barriers is likely to take time and sustained effort, particularly for communities that have been traditionally withheld from astronomy. So laying the groundwork for such efforts is the motivation behind the second category of partnership proposals. These proposals, or proposed in this category, will be able to apply for grants with a higher budget limit, provided the funds are distributed equitably between the participating institutions. And representatives from at least 2 partners should be identified at the time the proposal is submitted, even though it's okay if you the partnership that you plan to develop is still at a very relatively early stage. So you can find full details on the call for proposals and how to apply from the ProProgram website. And as a reminder, the deadline is 30th of September. I strongly encourage you to discuss the program and its restrictions with your institution administrators as soon as possible and find out if there are any restrictions that your institution has, particularly with respect to overheads. We know that's been an issue at some places before. I strongly encourage you to reach out to me if you have any questions or you'd like to figure out if a proposal idea that you have is a good one, then I'm very happy to talk it over with you. And I encourage you to keep in touch with the science collaborations. because more information about this program and future opportunities is going to be circulated primarily through the science collaborations. Okay, so that was a very quick presentation and a quick recap of everything that we did yesterday. So I will pause for a second there and ask if anybody has any questions. All silence.
Yes, I just was requesting that you please send that we get some email with all the information about how to propose and the link and so forth. It flashed on the screen for a moment. It would be useful.
Sure. Yeah. Let me cut and paste the URL for the meeting website, because all of the proposal information can be found there. So if you're looking for a single place where all of this is captured, you just have to remember that one URL and you'll find everything you need. So that's probably the simplest takeaway. Miriam.
Just for clarification, so the partnership, so the two ones, the first one is team, so the team at one institution, and then the second one is partnership with other institutions. Is that correct?
Yes, that's the idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
With a
just checking.
Primarily aimed at developing the kind of diversity and equity enhancing proposals. I see Peregrine and then I see Fed. But
actually,
Fed,
I just wanted to, yes, just 1 second to clarify. Perhaps I misunderstood Miriam's question, but I just wanted to clarify. You can be a team and apply for a team grant, even if you are from different institutions. The partnership proposal is specifically for 2 institutions, of which one has an LSST developed research program, in the sense of having already faculty that is involved, or maybe even having funds for it within their institution, and the other one does not have an LSST present yet and is new to the LSST environment. And particularly favorable would be if the second institution was serving an underserved community or an underrepresented community in STEM.
Thanks, that's an important clarification. Sorry if that wasn't clear. I see several hands up, so I saw Peregrine first. We'll start with you.
Yeah, great. Just a note, I would definitely be interested in networking with other people who are working at minority serving institutions. I'm actually here in Southern California. I'm working at the community college level, but there's a lot of interest in our community for that. So anybody else who's working at minority serving institutions, I'd love to hear what you're thinking about this.
Thanks. That sounds like a good topic for a breakout session. Athena, your hand's up.
Yeah, this application is, we can do this application once per year. So it's the deadline now. And then when again we can apply?
So this is this is actually the first time we've been able to run this kind of program. This is the first time we've been able to get support from a foundation in this way. And what we are really hoping to do is that if we get a huge response from the community, we are hoping to go back to them and say, look, the community really needs this. So please let us do this again.
That's nice.
It's not yet set in stone. So yeah, we strongly encourage you to make the most of this opportunity as quickly as possible.
All right, that's good. Thanks.
Sure. Thanks for the question. Meg, your hand's up.
Yeah, I wasn't able to make yesterday, so I just wanted to ask. Peregrine sort of partially answered this by highlighting that there are some representatives from institutions here that want to be want to be part of this program, or and are serving a specific population that you are trying to highlight interaction with in this grant call. Is there a list of other institutions or people at them that have said, I'm interested, but I can't make it, or we're here yesterday, so that we can do that reaching out? Or is that something that we should be doing independently on our own?
That's a really good question.
I'm just
Thank
trying
you.
to figure it out from the list of people, and I'm not sure if some people
Yeah.
are representing a new group that's trying to come in, or is it researchers who are already embedded in the science collaborations from the different science collaborations who are here?
So the best or the closest resource that we have is the participant directory, the spreadsheet that I shared earlier, but I don't think that records whether somebody is at such an institution and would be interested in that kind of initiative. What do people think? Is it perhaps worth considering a breakout session later where people can self-organize to get that information? Or shall I reach out by email to everybody who registered for the workshop?
It might be easier just to say out of this group, raise your hand if you're representing that group, a minority serving institution or very brand new to Rubin Observatory that serves at demographics. That might help to give a sense of that quickly and see whether or not we have enough for breakout.
Meg, just one clarification here that I got someone asking about this, which is important for Rubin as well. Minority serving institution is a definition very clear for US colleagues, is less clear for people from outside. I forgot the name of the person that slacked me, but it's important to mention that what we intend are essentially institutions, even outside the United States, that do serve historically marginalized group of students, colleagues, peers, and so forth. For example, indigenous colleagues or faculty that serves institutions that serves indigenous students, for example, in Chile, South America, other places. So I think, and also the two-year community colleges falls into these categories, even though they're not necessarily MSIs, minority serving institution. They do fall in that category that Federica was mentioning. And Fed, correct me if I'm wrong saying this.
No, that definitely tracks. So non-traditional students would definitely fall under the category of research inclusion. And I want to point out that one of the things you said, historically marginalized group within the cultural context in which the proposer is. So that might be Native American, of course, in the US. That would not make sense in another place, but other minority and other traditionally marginalized group would make sense. Just clarify that so that the reviewers can understand it, even if it's not pertaining to their own culture.
And yes, thanks for clarifying better in words I couldn't articulate what I'm trying to say. So I much appreciate expanding on that definition. Yeah, I guess that's what I'm trying to find is are those people that have to try to find that connection, are they here to be able to then know to follow up later, because we'll all might be in all different breakout sessions.
That seems quite likely. I think, Will, you want to weigh in on that? Or do you have a separate question?
No, it's about this. Just a quick suggestion. Would people be able to self-identify that way in the participant directory? Maybe add a column or two columns, one for new to LSST and then one for these various codes that Nino and Meg have been discussing.
I think we can certainly add a column to the directory, and I can email everybody who joined us on both days of the workshop to say if they want to amend their entry to indicate that, then we'll have a list. Meg, does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Great, thanks. So I see that we have a comment from Kat Volk on the Slack channel. So I see several hands up in the Zoom room. I will come to you guys, but I want to make sure Kat doesn't get overlooked. So Kat, do you want to raise that point? I think it's a good one.
Oh, sure. It's just a really brief point about universities and red tape regarding proposals, and it's why I didn't fill out the participant directory. My university requires so much time to process proposals that I cannot start a new collaboration at this point. So just for future calls, like it's a minimum of about 4 weeks turnaround to start a new collaboration on a proposal. So, I mean, I am putting in with a pre-existing collaborator who thankfully we were able to just jump on it, but that's just something to keep in mind. I know not every institution allows even small proposals to go in without weeks of sponsored projects interference.
Wow, I didn't realize it was weeks. And thank you for that feedback, because that's really helpful for us to be able to take back to the foundation to say, you know, the community really likes this, but here's are the cons and this is what we can do to improve next time. So that's really helpful.
Like It's awesome, the fast turnaround and the fast funding. So this is, I'm super happy about this program. It's just I think U of A is probably on the very slowest end.
Right.
Because the red tape just keeps getting like worse and worse every year. But that's just something to keep in mind.
No, and I completely sympathize, and I agree you have to work within the system that you're given. So, but I would, just for a little bit of context, the way this program came about, Federica especially has been advocating for funding for the science collaborations for a long time. And it's been quite difficult to do, and a lot of the foundations did not appreciate that the science collaborations did not already have funding for the most part. But also the foundations seem to be under a kind of positive influence, in that they have the stock market has gone well recently, and they have limitations on how much money they must spend within a certain time frame. That is, they have to spend a certain fraction of it. So that partly is driving the amount, the timescale of this particular program, because we came to this foundation and said, look, that we want to encourage diversity and equity in the science collaborations. It fitted within their portfolio of what they want to do, and they had that timescale of what they want to do it in. But that is just this year. And as I mentioned earlier, we're hoping that we can build on this program in future and do something in a larger, more comprehensive program. Fingers crossed. That is by no means guaranteed, but if we all make a success of it this year, then hopefully we can build on that next year. And so I do take your point about the funding, and hopefully in future we can arrange a longer time scale. And that's part of the feedback I will take to the foundation about that.
And Rachel, if I may add one thing,
Please.
I don't think it's going to solve CAT's problem, which by all means, I hear you. My Office for Sponsored Research has me on their Black Book as the only name on their Black Book. And I really hope that I move away from my institution because of all the trouble I cause them with these proposals. But one thing that might help is that if specifically for the partnership proposal, if that's what you had in mind, we have tried to write it so that if you are initiating a new partnership and you have identified your partner, even if they can't be the PIs because of your Office of Sponsored Research rules, and you can PI it as a single PI, that would be something that you can explain in the text, and I think it will be well received by us.
Thank you, and that's a good point. Let me expand on that a little bit. It's the partnership proposals require at least 2 current partners at the time of submission. But you might consider, if you wanted to expand and bring in additional people at a later stage, you could say, you know, we plan to expand at a later stage, provided you have at least 2 people involved at the start. So that's, you know, consider that as an option if you're looking at a partnership proposal. Peregrine, I see your hand up.
Yeah, yes. So looking at the spreadsheet, we already have a couple proposals. The one that Will's involved with research inclusion, and then Nino has a related one dealing with MSIs with a suggestion that maybe these get merged. Given our modest size of participants, we have 27 on this call right now. Maybe that would be a workable idea for a breakout session.
I think that sounds like a good idea. Is it on the list of breakout sessions?
Yes, it is. It's on the spreadsheet.
Already great.
Right.
Okay, fantastic.
Is it permissible for a person to, oh, sorry, I should raise my hand.
No, it's okay.
No,
I think,
oh,
yeah, go ahead.
Can you be on a partnership proposal, but also submit an individual proposal, or is that not permitted?
Yes, you can. There's no limit on the number of proposals you can submit other than the time it takes you to write them.
Right. And that's a great question, Michael, because that was also on my mind. And speaking of partnership proposals, I noticed that we have MSI community colleges and a major research university basically in the same county. So anyway.
Okay, are there any other questions? I'm not seeing anything on the Slack channel. If not, then
Rachel,
oh,
I
sorry,
added, no question, I just added a column according to what we discussed to identify yourself as being at an institution that supports traditionally marginalized populations. It's a self-identification, so yes or no, and it's currently column G on the spreadsheet, so that might change.
Okay, thank you.
Fed, I don't see it. Is breakout session day 2 spreadsheet?
So it's not on the breakout section, it's on the participants spreadsheet.
I'm sorry.
Do you have the links to both spreadsheets there?
I'm gonna copy and paste the link to the participants spreadsheet. That's the spreadsheet where you have introduced yourself.
Okay.
We may need edit access to add to self-identify.
Yeah, I think you do have edit access. Oh no, you don't. Let me give you that right now. Okay, you should be able to edit it now.
That's right, because it came from the form.
Yep.
Rachel, we should add that on the form next for people that might use the formulator.
Yes, good point. I can do that. I think I will try and do that when we go to a breakout session, and then I will send an email around to everybody who signed up for the workshop so that we get everybody who can't attend today. Okay, so the next, in fact, most of the rest of today is dedicated to breakout sessions, which I hope you will all self-organize. We have several ideas in the breakout session spreadsheet already. Many of them have nominated a meeting space of where to meet. That might be good if the people who proposed the other sessions also do the same, so that everybody knows where to coalesce around. If you haven't used GatherTown before, it's really flexible for doing this kind of breakout session. It's very much like wandering around a room and joining conversations as you go. You simply move your avatar, and as you approach a conversation group, it will spontaneously bring you into that conversation. So please don't be shy. Go ahead and join the conversations. I plan to be lurking around somewhere in the middle of the map. So if anybody has any questions that maybe they don't want to discuss publicly or are particular to their institution, I am there as a resource. Feel free to come and talk to me. I'm very friendly, I don't bite, especially not on a virtual platform. So come and talk to me and have fun at the sessions. I suggest what we do is come back 10 minutes before the end of the workshop so that we can just do a wrap up and some next steps. Okay, I will see you all in GatherTown then. Thanks everybody very much.